So for suppose here the paragraph tag, the paragraph tag is having the id 24. Okay, id 24, then which style will get applied? id style will get applied when there is a conflicting css property. If there is no conflicting css property, the styles from p dot final will get applied, and id 24 will also get applied, because i- it applies for the the both selectors will get applied to that element. That's the reason. So again, if you have div space id slash div space hash id, so that means we having a weightage at 1 in the 100th place and in element 1 and the 1th place. So that means 1 at 1. The weightage for this is 1 at 1. So this will be more weightage. As of now we have seen, like that the weightage will come. So if we have a inline style, what is its weightage? Inline style weightage is in the 1000th place. That's the reason, even though we have given id selector to specify a property, css property, but the css, if the same css property is given in the inline style for a particular element, it will get the inline style value. That means even though if we give within this id 24, if we have id here as 20 id 24, sorry, here if we have id is equal to id 24, and here if you have here if you have style as color blue. So I will just take this example here uh, very fastly. So here color red is there. I will use a id here, and that is id 24. So I will write a style here, id 24 hash id 24. The style is that color blue. And just remove this background thing because we know it already. So color blue we have given, and the color red is there here. Which style will get applied to this? So we can see that red color got, we can see that red color got applied. The reason why it is red color got applied instead of blue, even though we have blue, I have given wrong here. We can still see that, but red only got applied. The reason is that even if we specify the style below to this uh, below to the element, style will not change. The reason is that inline will have more precedence. That's the reason why more precedence than means than that 1 in the thousands place. This weightage is 1000. This color weightage is 1000, and this color weightage is 100. So 1000 will take more precedence than 100. So if we have given background background color yellow here, let come the background color, it comes. The reason is that background color property is not conflicting the color property. Sorry, background color we need to take different one. The reason is that it is already having, so I will take blue because yellow is there in the external style sheet, and here we having the blue. So which style will you apply, yellow or blue? Here there is no conflict because for the background color we have not specified any inline style, so there is no problem. It won't say any exemption, but there is a conflict between the external style and this inline style, in which we are specifying the selector by using the id. Okay, so which style will be applied? Now we'll remove this style. Instead we'll put here itself because it is one and the same, the order in which it applies. So we'll put it in a style element here, not here. We'll put here itself. within the style. So here, so we are giving the body background color yellow, body background color blue. Which style should get applied? Okay, now we can see that style is blue. The reason why, how? Because yellow is below, it should be yellow. Because of CSS weightage, the color is background color is blue. The reason is that ID is having more weightage than the element selector, so ID style will get applied. Okay, so that's the reason why blue got applied, background blue color got applied. Okay, but if I give font size here something like font size 40 px, will this be taken by this? The question. So font size 40 px, it get applied. So that means it is not ignoring all CSS properties. That means it is not ignoring all CSS properties. It is only ignoring the CSS property which is conflicting with the higher weightage. So here, body is having the font size 40. No other selector has given the 40 px. That's the reason 40 px applied to the text within the body. There is no conflict. So for the background color, for the same body, we have ID, and for with the same ID, with that ID we are giving the style, the background color. There is a conflict. That's the reason why it takes the weightage. So here the ID weightage is more. That's the reason why background color blue will get applied. So you can see that's the reason why we have a blue color background. So again, in inline we have color red, text color is red, but here I have given text color as blue, but text color didn't came in blue, it came in red. The reason is that because color property is conflicting between these two elements, body and the body ID, so it takes a more precedence to the inline style, because inline style is having 1 in the thousandth place, ID is having the 1 in the hundredth place. That means its weightage is 100 and its weightage is 1000. So 1000 is more. That's the reason why inline color property got applied. Color CSS property got applied. So one more simple thing to see. So if I give, for suppose, div hash ID 24, what will happen now? Div hash ID 24. See, there is a change. What happened? Background color yellow, background color yellow, hash id, div hash id, background color. So how the styles are working here? So I have given a id selector and then body, then id. So this selector weightage is 100 because id we have. So this selector weight is 1 at 1. The reason is that 100 for the id selector, 1 is the element selector. So this weightage is more because there is a conflicting property between these two selectors for the same element body. The conflicting property, whichever is having the more weightage, will win. That means body hash id 24 is having more weightage. So because the background color is specified in both places, the later will gain the weightage. That means background yellow will come instead of background blue. That we can see here. The font size will get applied and the color blue did not apply. The reason is that color red we have given in the inline. Inline will take more precedence than the selectors here. So because inline is having weightage in the thousandth place. So in the same way, if we give important for any property, because here I don't want to be overwritten by inline element. So in that case, I can give here as important. So important property will get more weightage than any other. So this weightage is because it will get weightage at the 10,000th place. This color blue will get a 10,000 plus 100. So 10,100 means how much it is? Uh, 10,100. That is the weightage. So this weightage is more than inline element, as inline is having only 1000 weightage. So this will take more precedence because this property. I mean, it's not applies to all properties. For whichever property we have given important, for that it adds the 10,000 weightage. So color blue will get applied to this. You can see the color blue got applied. The reason is that this property weightage is 100 plus 10,000, 10,000 100. This weightage is just 1,000, which is very less when compared to this. So that's how the styles will get applied. Okay. And if we give important here as well, what will happen? If we give important here as well, how what will happen? So we can see that you can just calculate the weightage from yourself, and you can see what can be the how much what change it makes. So because this weightage is 10,000 plus 1,000, that is 11,000. This weightage is 10,100. So 11,000 is having more weightage because 1,000 is for inline and 10,000 is for important. So 11,000 weightage, and this weightage is having only 100 plus 1,000, 100 plus 10,000. So 10,100. So 11,000 is more weightage than 10,100. The red color will get applied to this. Sorry, it didn't save as important. Important. Sorry, I have given after semicolon. It should be given before the semicolon here. So now the style you can see it got applied red because its weightage is more. That's how the weightage works. We need to remember here that the element and pseudo elements will have the one in the one place. Each element will carry one for each element. How many elements it may have? So it just adds up the number of elements in. Then the class selectors. So the class selector will have the weightage 10. Each class, if there are two classes, it will be 20. If it is having two classes and one attribute, it is 30 because the class and attribute will have the same weightage. Each one will have 10 10. So like that the weightage will come. So even pseudo classes will have the 10 weightage. But pseudo element if it is there, that is colon colon first child colon colon first letter first line, those will have one only weightage. But the pseudo class, for suppose first child last child, those will have the 10 weightage because those are just like the classes. Those weightage is 10 for each one. So in the same way, id selector will have 1,000, id selector will have 100 weightage. So if we have inline style, it is 1,000 weightage. So if it is having important, it adds the 10,000 weightage. So apart from this, we need to know one more thing, that is for which some elements are there, some exceptions for which there won't be any style applies. So here greater than we have seen for child selector, and space we for dissident selectors, and not for to exclude the other elements, and plus is for adjacent selector, and tilde is for sibling selector. For all these special symbols, there is no weightage adds, but the elements between them or before them and after them, the weightage will get added. So it applies for suppose due plus li, due plus ul, that means due plus ul for one, for each one 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 will apply, two style will come. So for suppose due plus, so for suppose due plus ul and space li, that means this is three weightage because 1 plus 1 plus 1 for all these three elements it is 1 1, so 3. So if you have dot cls, some class if it is having li, so how much it is 1 plus 1 plus 3 plus 10, so 13 is the weightage. So like that the style css selector weightage will get calculated. If you have any doubt, we can question to this, if you can comment on this video, that will be helpful to answer your questions. I hope I have covered everything about the selectors. The not will not get added any style, but any weightage. But within the not, whatever the element or class we specify, that will be included in the weightage. This has to be remembered. I mean, it is not difficult to remember. It is very easy, straightforward. Only these will get exempted in the weightage of the CSS selector.